Can the Doomslayer take on SCP-682, the hard-to-destroy lizard, or Tufto's proposal for SCP-001, the Scarlet King? Let's first see just how strong the Slayer truly is. Some of his most impressive feats are that of defeating the Icon of Sin, Hell's Champion, the Conmaker, and Davoth. Hell's Champion at its time was the strongest demon and is stated to be invincible, immortal, and unrivaled by any other demon. Doomslayer casually ignores all that, and he was pretty much able to damage it and then subsequently kill an immortal demon with just his fists. Later on, he fought the 6th-dimensional Conmaker, who is so fast that it can travel through dimensions almost instantly. Then the Doomslayer defeated the Icon of Sin, which casually destroys and warps reality around it as it walks around. He also killed the creator of the Doom cosmology, Davoth, with ease, as seen in this scene where Davoth and his suit are notably damaged, while the Slayer is unscathed and unbothered. Even though the Doomslayer has several really cool guns that either use normal bullets or Argent energy or something else, his most powerful weapons are his melee weapons. This includes his Crucible, which can seal away truly unkillable beings like the Icon of Sin, and his Fist, which are stated to be his strongest weapon, capable of even killing immortal and invincible beings like Hell's Champion. For his durability, his body is stated to be indestructible and invincible. His Predator suit is also quite durable, being able to survive a test conducted on it by using a 2 megakelvin attack, which left no marks on the suit at all. And if somehow defeated, the Doomslayer revives back in Hell, ready to fight. Now onto the SCPs, but before that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications, and even consider subscribing to my second channel with all notifications as well. Now for the hard-to-destroy lizard. This lizard at its first form, just from the original document, is quite weak, with its main weakness being hydrochloric acid. Its abilities are incredible adaptability, regeneration, and ability copying or ability absorption. All this has made it impossible to kill in almost all of the tales where the Foundation has tried to kill it. It can even adapt to become immune to anomalies, with no cure or treatment like SCP-409. It has survived being attacked by Clef's proposal for SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, which is known to cleave things down to the subatomic level. But one of its more impressive feats from the tales is how it survived SCP-3930, which is a non-existent void that makes anything inside it become non-existent, but it still exists because there's a document about it that describes how it does things. Either way, SCP-682 survived this void. But this lizard has a couple other different forms. Its Leviathan form was able to damage the Tree of Knowledge, which in itself is wild. To give a perspective as to why this is very impressive, this tree is 100th or so dimensional, and it exists outside the SCP multiverse, and maybe even cosmology as a whole, depending on the tales. So even a small little scratch on the tree is a substantial feat. The lizard has many other forms, abstract, not so abstract, but for this video let's stick with its baseline and Leviathan form. So what can the Slayer do against SCP-682? For this one, let's differentiate SCP-682 forms. For its baseline, SCP-682 would not have many offensive options against the Slayer. From the tales, in its baseline, it would not be able to do much to the Slayer at all, and would just get speed blitzed very easily. Its only saving grace is that it adapts to any situation it is in. The Doomslayer would attack, cut, and shoot the lizard, only for it to come back slightly more resistant each time. Seeing as though it's really hard to kill the lizard, the Slayer might try the Crucible to neutralize the lizard. This could either work or not work. There are tales where the lizard adapts a way out of being neutralized or sealed, while there are tales where it is killed or sealed. So either the Slayer eventually kills or seals the lizard, or the lizard continues adapting and even becomes immune to the sealing ability of the Crucible, which would make the fight a stalemate. Depends on how you look at the canon of SCP. Now for Leviathan SCP-682. This fight would most likely go to 682. If we use the power scaling tiers, the Doomslayer is around low complex multiversal to maybe even high complex multiversal, because that is about the limit of the power of Davoth that he has displayed or even is alluded to have in the lore. Some sources may even say that the Doomslayer is hyperversal level. But since Leviathan 682 was able to damage the Tree of Knowledge, Leviathan SCP-682 ranges from high hyperversal to even outerversal, just because it could damage the tree, depending on which document you take from the tree's actual reach. This Leviathan form also has the same adaptability as baseline 682. So just from using the power scaling tiers, Leviathan form SCP-682 would win against the Doomslayer. Not exactly killing him, but more so just defeating him. But an X factor of sorts exists for the Doomslayer, which is that he is stated to have such a strong will that he can match the power of his adversaries. If this X factor of sorts extends to being able to close a gap between beings which far outclass the Doom cosmology, then it would be about the same situation as baseline 682, which is either he wins somehow or it's a stalemate because of the adaptability. Now for Tufto's proposal for SCP-001, the Scarlet King. There's not much more I could say about this SCP. It partook in many wars to destroy the Tree of Knowledge, and in those wars, one of its underlings, which was SCP-682 in its Leviathan form, was able to hurt the tree, and the Scarlet King is much stronger than Leviathan 682. But in the proposal for SCP-001, this Scarlet King that partook in the war was just an avatar of the real Scarlet King, so its avatar is many times stronger than Leviathan 682. And even if the avatar is destroyed, another could manifest, and each subsequential avatar could be equal to or stronger than the last. This is because the Scarlet King gets stronger as the knowledge of his existence grows, and inevitably, with enough knowledge, it may be able to fully manifest, which would be disastrous. So how does the Doomslayer stack up to him? Well, basing the fight off just power scaling tiers, the Scarlet King wins. His avatar is beyond even SCP-682 in its Leviathan form, which, just using power scaling tiers, is stronger than the Doomslayer. But maybe the Doomslayer's will and ability to power up to his opponents might change the outcome of the fight, if it applies here as well, which would allow him to keep up with the avatars. But then there is the fully manifested form of the Scarlet King. This full manifestation is so strong that its mere presence is enough to pretty much destroy the Tree of Knowledge entirely. So, if you think somehow the Doomslayer can go to being outerversal by his will, then he might have a chance, even against the fully manifested form. But pretty much in summary, the Slayer, just from his feats, does not do very well against any of the absurd SCPs, like the Scarlet King. So it really doesn't matter kind of which one you choose, it's about the same kind of argument. It ultimately will just boil down to whoever the internet likes more, that will win. Pretty much because SCP doesn't have any canon, just a bunch of different tales.